to you all to the Commerce Positivity lecture. In today's lecture, we will be totally discussing about the concept of organizing, definitions of organizing given by different scholars, as well as the principle of organizing. So let's start with the concept of organizing without delay. As we all know that organizing is an important function of management. It brings together man, money, machine, material in order to execute the plan. Plan focus on deciding what to do, whereas organizing focus on how to do it. Thus, after setting the goal and formulating the plan, managers should organize the people and allocate the resources in order to implement the plan. Simply, we can say that organizing means identifications and grouping of the activities, assignment of duties and responsibilities, delegating authority, allocating resources, and establishing authority, responsibility, relationship among the organizational members. However, in order to understand the meaning of organization clearly, it is necessary to analyze the term as a structure and the process. As a structure, organizations refers to the network of structural relationship among individual and position in the enterprises. According to this concept, organization is the structural framework or mechanism of relationship among the organizational member that can be presented in the chart. It defines the duties, authorities, and responsibilities of a people for handling the job to achieve the common goal. Now, let's study the definitions of organizing given by different scholars. According to L.H. Haney, organizing is a harmonious adjustment of specialized part for the accomplishment of some common purpose. Similarly, according to Theo Herman, organizing is the structural framework within which the various efforts are coordinated and related to each other. So in conclusion, or simply we can say that organization as a structure means a relationship between formal positions and job which ignore the informal relationship between individual. So now let's just study about the principle of organizing. So what are the principle of organizing? Well, principle constitute the foundations of good organizations. Manager must follow certain principles in order to formulate and develop a sound and effective organizational structure. So, the principle of organizing, unity of objective. An objective is the end result derives to be achieved. Effective organizing functions demand clarity of the objective. The goal and objective must be clearly defined for the whole enterprises, for each department, and even for each position in the organizational structure. Another principle of organizing here we have is division of work. No single person or a single group can perform the entire activities of an enterprise. Therefore, the activities of an organization should be divided into several small jobs so that each individual can concentrate on one job. The right job should be assigned to the right persons at the right time for the achievement of efficiency. Similarly, span of control is another important principle of organizing. The optimum members of subordinates who are to be supervised and controlled by a superior is called span of control. A superior can supervise only a limited number of subordinates efficiently and effectively. This principle emphasizes on fixing the right size of a subordinates under each supervisor. Unity of command is another important principle of organizing. According to this principle, each subordinate should have only one superior at a time. Dual subordinates should be avoided, which may result disorder, delay, and confusion among the subordinates. It may also result in indisciplined situation in an organization. Similarly, chain of command. This principle is also called the principle of scalar chain. There must be a link in the organizational structure from top to bottom, and all messages should flow through the prescribed route. There must be a clear and distinct line of authority among the positions in the organizations. Similarly, another principle here we have is unity of direction. According to this principle, the efforts of all members of the organization should be directed toward the achievement of a common goal. One person should manage a group activity that have a common goal. There should be one head and one plan for the group of activity. Similarly, parity of authority and responsibility is another important principle of organizing. Authority and responsibility are coextensive and should go together. Only sufficient authority delegated to the subordinates, he cannot be held responsibility for a result. Similarly, responsibility assigned with no authority do not motivate a person to do any work. Authority and responsibility should be delegated in the balanced manner. Exception is another important principle of organizing. According to this principle, important planning and decision-making work should be referred to the executive for their decisions, and matter of routine nature should be decided by the subordinate themselves. This will enable higher level manager to devote more time in important matter. Similarly, efficiency is another important principle. The formulated structure of the organization should enable the business concerned to function efficiently and effectively in order to achieve the organizational goal at minimum cost. It should ensure optimum utilization of resources as well. Simplicity is another important principle. The organization structure should be simple as possible with minimum number of a level. Large number of a level may create the problem of effective coordinations and communications in the organizations. Flexibility is another important principle. The organization structure should be flexible enough to cope with change in the external as well as internal environment of the business. It should facilitate growth and expansion without any reason or problem. Similarly, balance is another important principle. There should be a proper balance between various parts of the organizations. According to this principle, there should be an appropriate balance between opposing patterns of the organizing, such as centralizations and decentralizations, authorities and responsibilities, wide span as well as narrow span, and so on. Similarly, principle of continuity is another important principle. The structure of organizations should be serviceable for a long period of time. The dynamic and capable adoption of the changing circumstance can make it possible to exist in the long run. Similarly, principle of delegation is the last principle of organizing. The structures of the organization should provide the delegations of authority at each level. The authority delegated should be equal to the responsibility so as to accomplish the tasks assigned to the concerned person. Yeah, that's it. I just hope you all understand the concept of organizing as well as the principle of organizing. Thank you so much.